5th Dynasty, 2494 to 2345 before Common Era, Pharaoh Userkaf of the Old Kingdom, an in-depth historical examination. Pharaoh Userkaf, an influential ruler of Egypt's Old Kingdom, stands as a pivotal figure in the early 5th Dynasty. His reign marked a significant shift in Egypt's political and religious landscape. Userkaf's contributions to the evolution of Egyptian monumental architecture, religious practices, and statecraft left an enduring legacy that shaped subsequent dynastic developments. This comprehensive analysis delves into various aspects of Userkaf's reign, exploring his rise to power, architectural achievements, religious reforms, and the broader impact of his rule on the Old Kingdom. Historical context. The Old Kingdom, often referred to as the Age of the Pyramids, spanned from the 3rd Dynasty to the 6th Dynasty, approximately from 2686 to 2181 before the Common Era. This period is renowned for its monumental architecture, particularly the construction of pyramids, which served as royal tombs and symbols of the divine power of the pharaohs. The Old Kingdom was characterized by a strong central government and the establishment of the pharaoh as a divine ruler, with a focus on creating lasting monuments to ensure the immortality of the king. The 4th Dynasty, known for its grand pyramids, such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, set high standards for architectural achievement and established a model for pyramid construction that subsequent rulers sought to emulate or adapt. The period of the 4th Dynasty was marked by the construction of some of the most impressive pyramids, including those built by pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. The architectural innovations and monumental scale of these pyramids were a testament to the economic and administrative capabilities of the Old Kingdom. Userkaf ascended to the throne during the early 5th Dynasty, a time of significant political and cultural transformation. His reign is situated in the context of the Old Kingdom's transition from the monumental achievements of the 4th Dynasty to the evolving religious and administrative practices of the 5th Dynasty. The early 5th Dynasty witnessed shifts in religious practices and governance, reflecting broader changes in Egyptian society and politics. This period saw a growing emphasis on the cult of the sun god Ra, which became a central element in the state's religious and political ideology. Rise to power. Userkaf's rise to power is somewhat shrouded in mystery, with limited historical records detailing his ascent. However, it is generally accepted that he was a member of the royal family, possibly the son of Pharaoh Neferkar of the 4th Dynasty. His ascent to the throne marked a new era in Egyptian history, characterized by both continuity and innovation. The transition from the 4th Dynasty to the 5th Dynasty was marked by shifts in political priorities and religious emphasis. Userkaf's claim to the throne was solidified through a combination of political acumen and strategic alliances. His reign represents a significant shift in royal ideology, emphasizing the role of the sun god Ra in the state religion. This shift was instrumental in shaping the religious and political framework of the 5th Dynasty. The elevation of Ra's status was not only a reflection of changing religious beliefs, but also a strategic move to consolidate political power and unify the kingdom under a central religious doctrine. Userkaf's rule also involved navigating the complexities of Old Kingdom politics, which included managing relations with powerful regional officials and ensuring the stability of the central government. His successful rise to power can be attributed to his ability to balance these political dynamics while introducing reforms that would have a lasting impact on the governance and religious practices of Egypt. Architectural achievements. Userkaf's reign is notable for several architectural innovations, particularly in the realm of pyramid construction. He initiated the building of a pyramid complex at Saqqara, marking a departure from the traditional pyramid construction techniques of the previous dynasty. The Pyramid of Userkaf, although not as grand as those of his predecessors, set a precedent for subsequent developments in pyramid design. The shift towards more economical construction methods reflects broader changes in the Old Kingdom's approach to monumental architecture. The Pyramid of Userkaf, located at Saqqara, represents a significant architectural evolution. Unlike the massive pyramids of the 4th Dynasty, Userkaf's pyramid was relatively modest in size. This shift reflects a broader trend in the Old Kingdom towards more economical pyramid construction. The pyramid complex included a mortuary temple and a causeway leading to a valley temple, a design that became a standard for later pyramids. This architectural model demonstrated a new approach to the construction of royal tombs, balancing grandeur with practicality. The pyramid itself was constructed using a combination of limestone and mud brick, showcasing the transition from the earlier use of massive stone blocks. The use of mud brick in the construction of the substructure and surrounding walls indicates a move towards more cost-effective building methods. This adaptation may have been influenced by changing economic conditions or a deliberate choice to align with evolving architectural practices. The pyramid complex was originally adorned with detailed inscriptions and reliefs, although much of this decoration has been lost or damaged over time. The mortuary temple associated with Userkaf's pyramid was an essential component of his funerary complex. This temple served as a site for the performance of rituals and offerings to the deceased pharaoh. The temple featured a series of courtyards, halls, and chapels designed to facilitate the ceremonial practices associated with royal funerals. The architectural style of Userkaf's mortuary temple laid the groundwork for future developments in temple design. The use of colonnades, large courtyards, and elaborate entrance pylons became characteristic of later mortuary temples, reflecting the evolving religious practices of the 5th dynasty. Userkaf's pyramid complex at Saqqara, though smaller in scale compared to the pyramids of the 4th dynasty, introduced several key architectural elements that influenced subsequent pyramid construction. The use of mud brick, in particular, represented a significant departure from the previous emphasis on large stone blocks. This shift in building materials may have been a response to both economic constraints and evolving architectural preferences. The inclusion of a causeway and a valley temple became standard features in later pyramid complexes, reflecting Userkaf's impact on the design and functionality of royal tombs. Religious reforms. Userkaf's reign is marked by significant religious reforms, particularly the promotion of the sun god Ra as the central deity in Egyptian religion. This shift had profound implications for the religious landscape of the Old Kingdom. The elevation of Ra's status is emblematic of a broader trend in Egyptian religious practice during the 5th dynasty. Userkaf's promotion of Ra, the sun god, reflects a broader trend in Egyptian religion during the 5th dynasty. The pharaoh's emphasis on Ra signaled a shift from the earlier focus on other deities, such as Osiris and Horus. This religious reorientation had several implications for Egyptian statecraft and ideology. The consolidation of Ra's worship under Userkaf was not merely a religious shift, but also a political strategy to unify the kingdom under a single, powerful deity. This move was instrumental in reinforcing the divine authority of the pharaoh and establishing a central religious doctrine that could serve as a unifying force for the kingdom. Ra's elevated status was symbolized by the construction of the Sun Temple at Abu Gorab. This temple, dedicated to Ra, was a significant addition to the religious landscape of the Old Kingdom. It featured a massive open courtyard, an altar for offerings, and a central obelisk, all designed to honor the sun god. The architectural design of the Sun Temple at Abu Gorab reflected the grandeur and importance of solar worship in Userkaf's religious reforms. The temple's location and layout were carefully chosen to align with astronomical phenomena, reinforcing the connection between Ra and the cosmos. The Sun Temple at Abu Gorab is one of the most notable religious structures from Userkaf's reign. It was constructed to celebrate Ra and to serve as a center for solar worship. The temple's design included an open courtyard, an altar for offerings, and an obelisk that symbolized Ra's divine presence. The temple's construction reflects Userkaf's dedication to promoting Ra's worship and highlights the integration of religious and architectural innovation during the 5th dynasty. Although the temple's remains are now fragmentary, its original design showcases the grandeur and complexity of religious architecture in ancient Egypt. In addition to the Sun Temple at Abu Gorab, Userkaf's promotion of Ra was reflected in the increased emphasis on solar imagery and symbolism in royal art and inscriptions. The pharaoh's official titulary and monuments often included references to Ra, underscoring the deity's central role in the state religion. This religious reform marked a significant departure from the previous dynastic focus on deities associated with the afterlife and the underworld. By elevating Ra, Userkaf not only reinforced his own divine authority, but also established a new religious framework that would influence subsequent rulers. Political and administrative impact. Userkaf's reign had significant political and administrative implications for the Old Kingdom. His rule marked a period of consolidation and centralization, which helped to strengthen the authority of the pharaoh. The administrative reforms implemented during Userkaf's reign played a crucial role in shaping the governance of the Fifth Dynasty. Userkaf's reign is characterized by a strong centralization of power, which was crucial for maintaining control over the vast Egyptian territory. The pharaoh's authority was reinforced through administrative reforms that streamlined governance and reinforced the role of the royal bureaucracy. These reforms included the establishment of new administrative offices and the reorganization of regional governance. Userkaf's efforts to centralize power helped to solidify the pharaoh's control over Egypt, setting a precedent for subsequent rulers in the Fifth Dynasty. The centralization of power under Userkaf was accompanied by significant changes in economic policies. The pharaoh's administration focused on enhancing the kingdom's wealth and stability through the regulation of trade, taxation, and resource management. Userkaf's economic policies aimed to improve the efficiency of resource allocation and to ensure the stability of the kingdom's finances. The implementation of these policies contributed to the overall prosperity of the Old Kingdom during Userkaf's reign and laid the groundwork for future economic and administrative developments. The emphasis on centralization during Userkaf's reign also extended to the management of labor and resources for monumental construction projects. The construction of Userkaf's pyramid complex and other architectural projects required significant coordination and organization. The pharaoh's administration implemented systems for labor recruitment, resource allocation, and project management to ensure the successful completion of these projects. These administrative innovations not only facilitated the construction of monumental structures, but also demonstrated the growing complexity of state administration in the Old Kingdom. Legacy and influence. Userkaf's legacy is marked by his contributions to architecture, religion, and statecraft. His reign represents a transitional period in the Old Kingdom, bridging the achievements of the Fourth Dynasty with the developments of the Fifth Dynasty. The architectural and religious innovations introduced during Userkaf's reign had a lasting impact on subsequent rulers and the broader Egyptian civilization. Userkaf's architectural innovations, particularly in pyramid construction and temple design, set a precedent for subsequent developments in Egyptian architecture. His pyramid complex at Saqqara and the Sun Temple at Abu Gorab influenced the design of later royal and religious structures. The transition from massive pyramids to more economical constructions reflected broader shifts in architectural practices and resource management. The adoption of new building techniques and materials during Userkaf's reign contributed to the evolution of Egyptian monumental architecture. Userkaf's promotion of Ra and the construction of the Sun Temple at Abu Gorab had a lasting impact on Egyptian religion. The emphasis on Ra as the central deity continued to shape religious practices and beliefs throughout the Fifth Dynasty and beyond. The integration of solar worship into state ideology reinforced the divine authority of the pharaoh and established a religious framework that persisted through subsequent dynastic periods. The centralization of power and administrative reforms implemented during Userkaf's reign helped to strengthen the authority of the pharaoh and consolidate control over the Egyptian territory. These reforms set the stage for the political developments of the Fifth Dynasty and contributed to the stability of the Old Kingdom. The administrative innovations introduced during Userkaf's reign laid the groundwork for future governance structures and influenced the evolution of Egyptian statecraft. Userkaf's reign also exemplified the adaptability of the Old Kingdom to changing economic and political conditions. His emphasis on more cost-effective pyramid construction and the integration of new religious practices reflected a pragmatic approach to governance and statecraft. This adaptability was crucial for maintaining the stability and prosperity of the kingdom during a period of transition. Architectural evolution and innovations. Userkaf's architectural contributions were not limited to his pyramid and mortuary temple. His reign marked a period of experimentation and evolution in architectural design. The transition from the massive stone pyramids of the Fourth Dynasty to the more economical constructions of the Fifth Dynasty reflected a broader trend in Egyptian architecture. One of the key innovations during Userkaf's reign was the use of mud brick in combination with stone in pyramid construction. This approach allowed for more cost-effective building methods while still achieving the symbolic and functional goals of monumental architecture. The incorporation of mud brick elements in the pyramid substructure and surrounding walls reflected a practical response to economic constraints and changing architectural preferences. In addition to the pyramid complex at Saqqara, Userkaf's architectural influence extended to other projects and structures. The construction of sun temples and mortuary chapels during his reign demonstrated a shift towards incorporating religious symbolism into architectural design. The use of obelisks, colonnades, and open courtyards became characteristic features of religious and funerary architecture during the 5th dynasty. Userkaf's architectural innovations also included the refinement of mortuary temple design. The layout and decoration of the mortuary temple associated with Userkaf's pyramid set a precedent for subsequent developments in temple construction. The incorporation of large courtyards, ceremonial halls, and elaborate entrance pylons became standard features in later mortuary temples, reflecting the evolving religious practices and architectural aesthetics of the 5th dynasty. Religious and political integration. The integration of religious and political elements during Userkaf's reign was a key feature of his rule. The promotion of Ra as the central deity not only reinforced the religious framework of the 5th dynasty, but also served to strengthen the political authority of the pharaoh. This integration of religious and political elements was instrumental in consolidating power and ensuring the stability of the kingdom. The construction of the Sun Temple at Abu Gorab was a manifestation of Userkaf's efforts to integrate religious and political ideologies. The temple's design and location were carefully chosen to align with astronomical phenomena, reinforcing the connection between Ra and the cosmic order. This integration of religious symbolism into architectural design served to legitimize the pharaoh's rule and emphasize his divine connection to the sun god. Userkaf's religious reforms also extended to the promotion of solar imagery and symbolism in royal art and inscriptions. The pharaoh's official titulary often included references to Ra, underscoring the deity's central role in the state religion. This emphasis on Ra not only reinforced the pharaoh's divine authority, but also helped to unify the kingdom under a single religious doctrine. The integration of religious and political elements during Userkaf's reign laid the foundation for the development of a cohesive and centralized state ideology. Economic and administrative reforms. The economic and administrative reforms implemented during Userkaf's reign played a crucial role in shaping the governance of the 5th dynasty. The pharaoh's focus on centralization and resource management helped to ensure the stability and prosperity of the kingdom during a period of transition. Userkaf's administration implemented systems for the regulation of trade, taxation, and resource allocation. These reforms aimed to improve the efficiency of the kingdom's economic management and ensure the stability of its finances. The focus on resource management and economic stability was essential for supporting the construction of monumental structures and maintaining the overall prosperity of the Old Kingdom. The centralization of power and administrative reforms during Userkaf's reign also had implications for the management of labor and resources. The coordination of labor for monumental construction projects required effective organization and oversight. Userkaf's administration established systems for labor recruitment and project management to ensure the successful completion of construction projects. These innovations demonstrated the growing complexity of state administration and the pharaoh's ability to navigate the challenges of governance. Legacy and influence on successor dynasties. Userkaf's legacy continued to influence subsequent rulers of the 5th dynasty and beyond. The architectural, religious, and administrative innovations introduced during his reign set a precedent for future developments in Egyptian history. The impact of Userkaf's reign can be seen in the achievements of his successors and the evolution of Old Kingdom practices. The architectural innovations of Userkaf's reign, particularly in pyramid construction and temple design, influenced the development of subsequent royal and religious structures. The use of mud brick and the incorporation of new design elements became standard features in later pyramid complexes and mortuary temples. Userkaf's contributions to architecture set a precedent for the evolving practices of the 5th dynasty and beyond. The promotion of Ra and the construction of sun temples had a lasting impact on Egyptian religion. The emphasis on solar worship continued to shape religious practices and beliefs throughout the 5th dynasty and beyond. The integration of solar imagery and symbolism into royal art and inscriptions became a defining feature of the religious ideology of the period. Userkaf's religious reforms helped to establish a framework for the worship of Ra that persisted through subsequent dynastic periods. The administrative and economic reforms implemented during Userkaf's reign also influenced the governance of the Old Kingdom. The centralization of power and the focus on resource management laid the groundwork for future developments in statecraft. The innovations introduced during Userkaf's reign contributed to the stability and prosperity of the Old Kingdom, setting a precedent for the administrative practices of subsequent rulers. Conclusion. Pharaoh Userkaf's reign represents a pivotal moment in the history of ancient Egypt. His contributions to architecture, religion, and statecraft reflect a period of significant transformation in the Old Kingdom. Userkaf's architectural innovations, religious reforms, and political achievements left an enduring legacy that shaped the course of Egyptian history. As a ruler of the 5th dynasty, Userkaf's impact on the development of pyramid construction, religious practices, and centralization of power underscores the significance of his reign in the broader context of ancient Egyptian civilization. The legacy of Userkaf continues to be a subject of fascination and scholarly inquiry, highlighting the lasting influence of his reign on the history and culture of ancient Egypt. Through his architectural and religious reforms, Userkaf not only advanced the traditions of the Old Kingdom but also set the stage for future developments in Egyptian history, leaving a legacy that resonates through the ages.